Thank you for joining the webinar today. We're going to go ahead and get started. I did just want to mention, for the purposes of this call, your audio and video has been disabled. However, we would love to hear from you. Please use the Q&A feature at the bottom to provide any comments or questions during the call, and we'll respond appropriately. So the title of our webinar today is Accomplish Customer Training Goals with the Salesforce Integrated LMS. And I just want to introduce myself. My name is Matt Peterson, and I'm the Relationship Director at MapleLMS. And joining me today as a panelist is Evan Tawari. He's our Customer Training Manager at MapleLMS, but he's also an expert on training your customers or partners on your LMS and using Salesforce Integrated. So as a team, we partner with organizations to provide a learning management system which is best in class and to improve the customer experience. And today we're not just talking about integrating MapleLMS with Salesforce, but how that two-way integration will help support your customer experience and customer training goals. So Evan, how are you today? Thanks for joining us.
Doing good, Matt. Thank you so much.
Great. Look forward to talking to you about this important topic, and I know you're an expert on it. When we talk about customer training, we're talking about educating our customers about a product, service, or a process. What kind of tools does an LMS typically have that drives this training, Ada?
Right. Now, Matt, in terms of customer training, there are quite a few tools within an LMS that helps deliver a successful customer training experience and also achieve customer training goals effectively. Now, an organization or a company may offer a variety of training programs to their customers, and every organization may have a separate set of goals. And depending on the organization type, you may offer maybe on-demand training, maybe your on-demand training materials so that your customers can access to those learning content at any time. You may offer any compliance or any policies related training. So compliance and policy training, that is something we see a lot in terms of customer training. Then also, if you're a product or a service company, you might be offering any live training, any self-paced learning, maybe specific to your product, maybe specific to your service that you provide. And also, in terms of goals, we also see that many of our customers, they do want to create a structured learning materials across different topics, such as a knowledge base. So maybe for the customers to come anytime and access those knowledge bases. Also, one additional things that we see a lot is to provide a smooth customer onboarding experience through guided onboarding. And guided onboarding can include a lot of things. Could be some courses, could be some relevant learning items specific to your product, to your services. And mainly something that we see a lot is training and certification programs. Now, these are great. It does let your customer learn and get certified about products, services, and through different offerings, through different certification programs. So an LMS would basically help organization achieve their goals and create a seamless learning experience for customers, ensuring that customer training goals are met efficiently.
So I think we use many of these tools at Maple to do product and service training. We usually hold live virtual training, then we record it and upload it into the LMS, so it's also available on demand. Also, having a good knowledge base is good, and we can't underestimate the value of onboarding a customer and making sure that they're feeling comfortable with your product or service. So these are all great tools to use. When we talk about setting up a customer training program, what should the objectives or the key performance indicators that an organization should keep in mind, and why are these important?
Absolutely. Great question. And, it is fairly important to have a set of key performance indicators as they help you to track your customer training experience and also make better decisions. Now, these KPIs are essential to every organization, and depending on the goals, some may vary. If we look at some examples on the screen, you will see 10 key performance indicators that are highly recommended. So where you do want to track your training engagement, your customer retention rate, the renewal rate, any sales by product or services that you're offering, your customer acquisition cost. This is clearly one of the most important items for any organization, any company. And similarly, customer satisfaction score, that is something which pretty much every company, every organization in the world is trying to get on and get the best customer satisfaction score for their products and their services. So really important about that. And also time to value, the number of direct support requests that you're getting, any customer support tickets, overall customer support tickets, different topics of these tickets. And also, most importantly, you do want to track any positive customer reviews. These are highly helpful, especially when your customers are going online and posting any positive reviews about your product, about your services. That basically helps you understand how your product or service is performing and if it's doing any good to your customer. So clearly, one of the most important indicators, I would say. And lastly, tracking any upsell and cross sale could also be one of the key KPIs, a key performance indicator for any company, any organization.
Those are great, all metrics, and I think every organization should be tracking these kinds of things. When I look at this, I really think about keeping your customer engaged and excited about the product or service. Even if your product or service is rather simple, giving customers an option of comprehensive training, I think, shows that you care. And also, what jumps out at me is the long-term customers are the best customers, and they're going to be the ones to write the reviews and refer others. And we all know it's less expensive to keep a current customer than acquire new ones. These are all great things to keep in mind. So I think most of our audience have probably heard of Salesforce, which is the world's most popular CRM or customer relationship management software. Why should an organization want to integrate their LMS with the CRM such as Salesforce, and what are some important items to consider?
Right, let's take a look at that. And yes, as you said now, Salesforce is clearly one of the most popular CRM systems out there. And no doubt most organizations use Salesforce to keep track of their customer information, sales opportunities, support tickets, and much more. And when you integrate your LMS with Salesforce, it can do wonders for your organization in terms of customer training experience. With a Salesforce integrated LMS, you're able to create a unified experience for your customers and track all that customer learning data within Salesforce. Now, a Salesforce integrated LMS basically results in a single centralized system all within Salesforce ecosystem, which basically leads to better customer experience, higher customer engagement, automated workflows, and also meaningful analytics. And once integrated, the LMS and Salesforce are able to communicate with each other effectively, and any learning data generated on the LMS is written back to your Salesforce records in real time. So LMS data such as learner courses, credits, progress, and any analytics are written back to the individual's contact record within Salesforce. This can also contain, any instructor-led training that you're offering, maybe any webinars that you're doing, any credits that you're offering to your customers. Any analytics could be about surveys, quizzes, assessments, and so on. All of this data is written back to your Salesforce, all of that in real time. And speaking of Salesforce, now Salesforce offers a variety of products and services such as Experience Cloud, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, also Marketing Cloud, and the LMS would essentially connect with these tools effectively. And we'll also take a look at these tools separately and what all can be achieved with a Salesforce integrated LMS. So I first want to get started with the Experience Cloud, also known as Community Cloud, or formerly known as Community Cloud. Now, primarily, Experience Cloud would contain your leads, the opportunities, any product or customer opportunities, any campaigns, maybe any marketing campaigns that you're running, any customer cases and chatter. Now, these are basically the features of features that you get with your Experience Cloud. But when you integrate an LMS with your Salesforce and use that within Experience Cloud, you're able to do a lot. You're able to build customer communities. So a variety of communities can be created within Salesforce. These could be maybe for different set of different customer types. So preferably a community for every different customer type can be built within Salesforce. And definitely data being one of the most important items over here, all that users learning data can be managed all within your Experience Cloud. You're also able to build any microsites for personalized learning. And this is well supported within the Experience Cloud, as well as MapleLMS, where you're able to create a microsite, maybe for different instances, maybe for different customers, chapters, divisions, and so on. But most importantly, you can create any knowledge base for self-support. So a knowledge base for your customers where they can go in and view any topics of information, maybe FAQ, and as such, maybe about your product, maybe about your service. So that's where knowledge base comes into play. But most importantly, selling your courses through the community and managing the resale and purchase of those courses and your learning products through Community Cloud or Experience Cloud can be carried out pretty easily and very seamlessly. And similarly, you can utilize this integration to manage any cases. Case management would again refer to, and there could be different examples of case management. It could be for your customers, it could be for your prospects, maybe support tickets, and so on. But something that you get with this integration and that really creates a unified experience is the single sign-on. And single sign-on basically eliminates the use of usernames and passwords for your customers. So they don't really need to use any credentials to log into your LMS. All they have to do is log into your community side, and they are able to seamlessly navigate into the LMS from your community with the help of a single sign-on. Now, when the data flows in, you certainly want to build any reports, generate any analytics. All of that can be fairly achieved within the Experience Cloud itself. Similar is the case for the other tools as well. If we look at some examples of Sales Cloud, Sales Cloud again can offer a variety of things to your customers. Firstly, AI-based course suggestion. So this would refer to automatically recommending courses to your customers, and this can run through different ways. So maybe if it's a product, so maybe product related courses, or maybe recommending courses based on the customer's interest, maybe the customer's profile, maybe their title, and so on. So different ways to suggest courses within your Sales Cloud. Also, one great thing you can do within Sales Cloud with this integration is you can carry out a seamless customer onboarding process within your Sales Cloud with the LMS integrated. So onboarding process can have different stages, maybe prospecting, contact, and so on and so forth. So there could be different stages for every company, but essentially you're able to build all of that and create a seamless experience within your Sales Cloud and create a seamless customer onboarding experience within Sales Cloud. There's a lot involved within the Sales Cloud, and all of these tools, we'll look at them over the demo as well. But also, offering any product and service training within your Sales Cloud, that's also a great possibility with this integration. Mainly if you're a product company or a service company, you do want to take advantage of this feature or this functionality to offer any product and service training from within your Sales Cloud. And also, again, any course enrollments, any purchases can happen within your Sales Cloud. So for example, when somebody maybe purchases a product, you can automatically enroll them into a set of courses to your customers. So they can view those courses, watch those courses at their own pace, at their own time. So that's a great way to drive an automatic enrollment based on a purchase. Sales enablement, again, a great way to enable your sales team to have any information handy at their fingertips. So anytime they're into the Sales Cloud, they can quickly browse through different topics of interest, maybe look at different courses and find relevant information to assist your prospect, to assist your customers or potential customers. And on top of that, you again have a single sign-on for a seamless access, both for your customers, for your internal teams. Single sign-on, again, a great way, really a great tool to create a unified experience. And again, whenever you have any data flowing in, you do want to generate any reports, look at the insights, all of that can be achieved very easily within your Sales Cloud with the help of this integration. Also, if we look at Service Cloud for a bit, now Service Cloud mainly serves for, for your support teams or maybe your tech support teams, customer support teams, where you're trying to manage all your customer support operations, maybe your case management, maybe offering any white label courses within your Service Cloud for your customers. That can be achieved as well with the help of this integration. And also, there could be a variety of communication channels within your support staff. So that can be enabled on your Service Cloud as well, where they are able to efficiently communicate with internal teams, or maybe you can simply create a group using Slack, maybe creating a channel for your customers, and where your support staff can basically communicate and collaborate into a single channel with all your customers at the same time. And again, we do get single sign-on with this tool as well, along with any dashboard and reports that you can build for advanced analytics within Salesforce. We'll look at these examples over a quick demo. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump to one such example over here. Firstly, this example is around the Experience Cloud. And two things that I want to demonstrate over here. Firstly is the single sign-on and how that seamless experience would look like. Secondly, how the data is written back to your Salesforce and how your customers can actually see it. So right now I'm logged into one of the pages of one of the sites within our Salesforce Experience Cloud, Community Cloud. And here, if you notice, there are two different tabs. There's a tab for learning progress. There's a tab for MapleLMS learning. If I click on MapleLMS learning, with the help of a single sign-on, I'll be redirected straight into the LMS where I can browse any courses, look into different catalogs, and all the different courses that are being offered to this customer. And every time this customer goes in, does some progress within a course, that progress is recorded in real time and is written back to your Salesforce in real time with this two-way integration. So for a moment, if I just go back to the community page, and if I click on learning progress, on this page, basically what I could see is a list of courses that I'm currently enrolled into, along with any certificates, any credits that I've achieved. So this data is again written back to Salesforce in real time. And this we are looking at from a customer's perspective, a customer's point of view. So even your customers are able to see and see what courses they have, or what certificates or what credits that they have achieved with your offerings. But for a moment, if we go to Salesforce, and firstly, let's just take an example around Sales Cloud, since we are into the Sales Cloud right now. If we go to opportunities, generally, what your sales team would do is they would come to opportunities. They will look at all the different opportunities available, maybe opportunities related to prospecting. So maybe if there's a new customer who's interested to buy one of your products, and that basically becomes an opportunity for your sales team. And the best part about this integration is that this integration allows your sales team to be handy with any information they need while they're actively dealing with your prospect. So for example, if we look here, this prospect is interested into a product that is related to Windows computer audio and software. And for me, if you take an example, for any sales rep, if they wanted to communicate with this customer, or if they wanted to provide any information, maybe if the prospect comes in with a few questions about this product, maybe any technical information about this product, the best way is to is through these recommended courses that you see on the bottom. So what would happen? What would happen is while you're actively dealing with your prospect and trying to figure out any solution to their questions, or as such, or wish to provide any information, here the system will automatically recommend you all the different topics, all the different courses that are specific to this product. And that way, any of your sales rep can simply jump into any of these courses, find that relevant information without navigating to the LMS itself. They can see all of that right within the Salesforce ecosystem. Now, once they have that information, they can simply provide that information to your prospect and basically provide your sales support quickly, and saving your time to find that information into LMS or look into different resources, maybe visiting your website or as such. So that's the most primary use case with the Sales Cloud integration, and this is for your internal team, I would say. So where your internal team can simply have all that information handy, and all they have to do is look for these recommendations, look into the right course, look into the right information, find that information, and provide that to your customers, to your prospects in real time. Similarly is the case with the Service Cloud. So for a moment, if we switch to the Service Cloud over here, and as I mentioned earlier, Service Cloud mostly utilized by support teams, customer support, tech supports, and yeah. So ideally, what your support team would do is they would be dealing with any cases, any customer cases, any tickets created by the customers, and they would navigate to the Cases tab. Here, if we see, there are a couple of tickets raised by a customer, and generally your generally your support member or your support staff would look into the case and see what the issue is about, or what problems the customer is facing. Now, if they wanted to find any information related to this issue, or maybe specific to this product that this customer has purchased, they can simply navigate below and again find these recommendations on the bottom. So again, your support staff can simply navigate into any of these courses right from here. And again, there's a single sign-on, so there would be no passwords, no usernames required. They can view in, they can find that information, provide that information to your customer in real time, and basically resolve any of their concerns as quick as possible. So that's a great way to enable information to your support staff within your Service Cloud. Also, we talked about the integration and how the data flows in, how the data comes in and is written back to your customer contacts in real time. So if we wanted to look at that, if we go to contacts, and let's say if this was a customer, if we wanted to see the progress of this customer or the engagement of this customer into your learning programs, here you can see a list of all the courses that this customer is enrolled into, any progress of your customer, as well as any certificates. Now, if you're offering training and certification programs, this is where you can simply track what certificates your customers have achieved out of different courses, and any credits that your customers have achieved. This could also contain any additional data such as survey analytics, assessment analytics, quizzes. So that data is written back to Salesforce in real time. So that's pretty much about data, but what about assigning courses from within Salesforce? And now that's a great way. Now, say if you have a set of customers, say if you have a customer profile, and if I just navigate to this part, you'll notice that there are a variety of profiles available in the Salesforce, and it just doesn't has to be your customer. It can also be your internal teams, any external customers, any external team members. So different profiles can be created. But let's say if your community user was one such profile, and if you wanted to assign some specific courses to your to that group of users, to that group of learners or those customers, you can simply assign courses from here by clicking on assign courses for that profile, where you get a list of all the courses that you're offering, and simply select any courses that you want to assign to this entire profile. And once you hit assign courses, they'll be automatically enrolled into these courses or these learning programs that you're offering. So that's pretty much about the Salesforce integration, and that's how basically the integration works. The single sign-on works, a seamless experience, a unified experience is created, and that's pretty much how the data is written back to your Salesforce in real time.
It's great to see that in person. Just everything available at a salesperson's or support staff's fingertips, I think, is great. And all the training that's available that you can also push to your customers to do their own on-demand training, or it doesn't just have to be on-demand training. We have great tools that you can add interactivity over that training. You could do virtual live training with them, webinars. It even can support in-person training. So there's a lot of great tools, and just I think the integration just really makes it seamless. You know, the goal of the CRM, I think, is to provide a 365 degree of your customer or prospect. And this just adds more additional data to the training and education that they've received. So that's all great. How would an organization know if they've been successful at improving the customer experience after integrating Salesforce with an LMS?
Absolutely. Now, if we look back, and if we look back at the topic of the KPIs that we discussed, some essential KPIs that an organization should look out for, should track for. Again, this data will flow in and provide you information. And again, there are 7 key items that you see on my screen right now. These are 7 key KPIs that would certainly help any organization track any customer retention rate, the churn rate of the customer, positive customer reviews, customer support tickets. You can actively track your customer engagement and see what's happening within your offerings, as well as looking at your customer acquisition value, your customer lifetime value, and most importantly, your customer satisfaction score. So again, these KPIs would help identify an organization if they are being successful and improving at their customer experience. And just to add on it, I would like to say that most of the time when we come across a customer who's using Salesforce, some of the biggest challenges that they see is to have a unified experience for their customers. And not just that, now data is definitely the most important part of everything that's involved over here, whether it be customer training, whether it be any other sort of trainings. So these 2 challenges, firstly, a unified experience, secondly, the data synchronization and seeing all that data into a single Salesforce ecosystem. These are pretty much the challenges that we see a lot with a lot of organizations. And this integration, the integration between LMS and Salesforce, this is essentially about resolving that challenge efficiently.
Right. I do want to turn to some questions. We have some great questions here from the audience, and I want to be sure to cover them. So the first one says, we use Salesforce Community Cloud. Do you have an integration with it? Will you be covering Community Cloud too? So I think Salesforce maybe renamed this. Do you know more about that, Eben?
Yeah, I mean, Community Cloud is now known as Experience Cloud. So we looked at that, looked at an example of Experience Cloud. Definitely, we totally integrate with the Community Cloud, or Experience Cloud as they call it as of now.
Yeah, so one and the same, I think. And yeah, certainly the integration can happen with that. So I think Salesforce has really created all these different clouds. I think there's 5 or 6 main ones, but then I think they've even expanded beyond that. So any of those could certainly be integrated with the systems, but I think you have to have a use case for it. And so we covered kind of the main use cases for the clouds that are most useful in integrating in LMS. Rob from our audience asked a question, can I conduct customer satisfaction surveys within LMS itself? And can that also be anonymous?
Absolutely. Customer satisfaction surveys. Now, I'm going to specifically talk about MapleLMS over here. So MapleLMS does provide you tools to build your own surveys, and these could be anonymous surveys. You can definitely create surveys with your own questions and run these surveys across your customers, across your learners. So that is definitely supported in our system.
Yeah, so I think a lot of our clients will want to build a survey around an actual course or a training topic, but there's no reason why you couldn't do a survey based on their overall customer satisfaction. And then I guess the great thing about that is the data and analytics then carries over into Salesforce with that 2-way integration.
Absolutely.
And you're getting that 365-degree view of your customer. So that's great. We do have another question here. Do we have analytics and reports in Salesforce too, mainly relating to training reports?
Absolutely. Now, the integration, as we looked at, it allows the data to come in and record in your Salesforce contacts, in your Salesforce database. So you're able to build reports based on that data. and a variety of reports. I think we looked at a couple of examples of reports within Salesforce. But if not, I'll just quickly show an example of a report within Salesforce. Give me a moment. So if I come back to the Salesforce over here, and if we go to LMS dashboard, now this data, what we see is basically a combined data. So this is all coming in from the LMS, and you're able to track all that data within your Salesforce, build reports and analytics out of that data. And these could be some really powerful insights, such as your monthly revenue by courses, your yearly revenue by courses, your course enrollments, any survey reports, quiz completions, assignment reviews, your course progress report, as well as assessment performance report. So this way you're able to build any customized dashboard or customized analytics within your Salesforce with the help of that data.
Yeah, that's great. I could see, in particular, it would be interesting to see which courses are accessed most frequently, and by who. Is it your customers, or is it your sales and supports team accessing that? But then going back to the previous question about customer satisfaction and surveys, rolling those surveys up to see which ones are resonating with your customers the most, I think would be a powerful insight to any organization.
Absolutely.
Okay, we do have another question here. They say, what is a microsite? You mentioned it. How does it work with Salesforce?
Okay, so consider a microsite as, now there are two ways. Firstly, a microsite within Salesforce can be a separate instance, could be a web page. Consider that as a web page. But if we talk about microsites in LMS, microsite in LMS is a micro LMS in itself, and really a great way to create separate instances of sites for offering your learning programs, for offering your trainings and courses. So essentially what you do is you sublicense your LMS and create a microsite. So a microsite would basically act as a micro LMS within your LMS system. And there could be a variety of microsites. So if we take an example, let's say your company has 4 different departments at 4 different locations and 4 different cities. You can have a microsite for each of those departments and each of those different cities, or according to the department, if you say. So maybe distributing your data, distributing your courses and offerings and learning programs through a microsite is again a great way. Where every microsite can have a different set of users, different set of managers and admins, and different kind of courses, different kinds of trainings. So microsite is again a great tool, mainly utilized to create multiple instances or micro LMS within an LMS platform.
Yeah, you kind of talked about using it internally, but I think it's also a great tool to use externally. You could set up a microsite for one of your customers. Say they purchase one of your products and they need to train their entire team on your product. You could sublicense that LMS and push the necessary training and courses to that LMS, and then that segregates all of their users, so their managers within their organization can kind of see the progress and credits earned and certifications earned amongst their employees. So I think that's a great tool.
Right.
Okay, I think that was it for the questions. If anyone has anything else, feel free to post. But we hope you found this webinar today informative and helpful. We showed you how you can leverage your customer's experience by integrating an LMS with Salesforce. And that provides great tools for your sales and support staff to provide education to your customers on your products, services, or processes. And you can also share that information with your customers directly. So if you'd like to continue this conversation with our integration specialists about how this integration could be transformative to your organization and the customer experience, I encourage you to reach out to us. And our contact information is provided on the slide below. You can go to sales@MapleLMS.com, email us, or also access our website at MapleLMS.com. Thank you so much, Avon. You've been so helpful and insightful with everything. We appreciate you taking all your time to share with our customers and the audience today.
Thank you, Matt. My pleasure to be here. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you, everyone.